We just had an Easter morning of reading the Bible and learning about Jesus.
Okay.
You didn't want to kiss me at the end of it.
I just think it's distracting.
Okay.
And I normally would not kiss anybody like that after a Bible study. It's just
after I pressed stop, you were jokingly saying, trying to undermine my Bible study.
Yes.
Nice.
Trying to undermine my Bible study, Bubs. Well, are you?
No, of course not.
So we have time to do another podcast episode, which I thought is pretty cool.
Yeah. And oftentimes when I think of Jesus, I do play this mind exercise where I wonder, what if Jesus is real and is the Son of God? And people who don't believe are going to hell. And obviously that's, I don't believe that, but it's fun to play with different ideas.
Well, I think that if you really want to explore that, you should. Instead of just doing thought exercises, going around in circles and not getting any answers.
What should I do?
I think one of the things you should do is you should get a Bible. I would prefer you get King James because that's there's reasons why I think that's something you should do. And I also think that you should read books by apologists like Lee Strobel.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Strobel is really good. I really want to read more things from him. And I also want to read... There's a book I really want to read with you if you're interested. And it's called Evidence That Demands a Verdict. And that's by Josh McDowell, another Christian apologist. And I heard that was one of the books that people have thought over, that were searching and really wondering if the accounts of Jesus were real, or if Jesus is real. And it's supposed to be a really good book.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll make a deal with you.
What's that?
So we are reading the Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress right now.
Yes.
And then after that, the plan is to read The Great American Journey by David McCullough. How about this? After we finish that, we read Devil in the White City, and then we read the book that you just said.
You said Devil in the White City was good, right?
I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Or either that, or possibly the one of Ann Rule's books.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, we can have a couple choices.
Okay, I would be down for some Ann Rule. I love Ann Rule's books. So it'll either be Devil in the White City or the book on the Green River Killer, because you're probably heard this ad nauseum. I think that's her second best book, and we've already read her first best book, or her best book.
And I read Small Sacrifices, of course.
Yeah,
that was just really disturbing.
And then after we read either Devil in the White City or the Green River Killer book, then we'll go to the apologetics one.
Yeah, Evidence That Demands a Verdict.
Evidence That Demands a Verdict. Good, we got some reading plan, babes.
We do.
Yes.
And he said that The Great American Journey is really interesting.
I think it is. It takes a little while to get into it, but it's good once you get there.
Okay.
And you also learn a lot about art and American history, all that good stuff.
And I like reading things about art.
Yes.
That's interesting stuff.
Yes. Cool. Well, this is Easter Sunday. No egg hunts or anything like that.
No, I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that for really, really young kids, it's just fun to do because it is fun to color eggs, right? I used to color eggs when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it is fun to look for candies and chocolate eggs and stuff, and it's just fun for the kids, right? I don't understand why some churches have it in their settings, but I understand why parents want their kids to do that, because it's a kid's tradition. Now, if I had kids, if I ever did have a kid, I would not want to put the eggs and the bunnies in the Easter celebration. They have, I will get them candies if they want it. Doesn't matter if they're eggs or bunnies, because that's what they sell and it's fun to eat, right?
Yep.
But that's as far as I'll go. I don't want them to go on an Easter egg hunt. I don't want them to talk to an Easter bunny, just because it would be really confusing for them, I think.
We are on the same page with that.
Just as much as it would be confusing for them to know about Santa Claus if you're raising them Christian, that would be very strange.
Or confusing to teach them that Columbus discovered America. You got to teach kids the truth. And
actually, he did discover America, but
no, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
I think that this is a different. This is not. He's not a mythical person. We're talking about mythical things, but
I know, but
I'm giving about mythological creatures.
I'm giving the example of society lying to you.
Yeah, but are they lying, or is Columbus purposely being villainized? And I think
no, he's not.
I think he's purposely being villainized. He came to the Americas to spread Christianity. He didn't come to the Americas to kill anybody.
He was a Christian. I believe he was Catholic, if we're going to be honest. And I could have that wrong. He might not be Catholic, but I believe. Now, remember, I read about this decades ago now, which makes me like super old. But that was not the initial reason he came here. It was to find valuable resources like certain spices or things that he could take back to the queen.
Okay, let's get off of Columbus for a minute. Point being is that I do not want to confuse my kids about holidays that are supposed to have deeper meaning. And Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and even the Tooth Fairy is really confusing. Because I even had a tooth pillow at one time. Did you have one?
I didn't have a tooth pillow. I had a pillow that I stuck teeth under.
That's what it... Okay, so I had a pillow that was... I forgot. It had this really funny shape, and it was funny. Used as a tooth pillow, and I would put teeth in there. And then somehow you would end up getting however many dollars.
Oh.
I never really was sold on the Tooth Fairy idea. I thought it was kind of fun, but I wasn't really sold on that one. But Santa Claus for me was the thing that I was very disappointed when I found out that it actually wasn't true.
People always talk about how fake our society is. And it starts in childhood when our parents, teachers, in some cases churches, intentionally lie to us.
But I don't think that all they say are lies.
No, but here's the thing. When they say things like the Easter Bunny is going to give you money or Santa Claus is going to give you free stuff, it makes it hard to disseminate what are they saying that's true versus what are they lying about.
Yeah, I know. Or they would tell, like for Christmas, they would tell us, oh, you better go to sleep early because if you don't, then you're not going to get your present from Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And it's... Yeah, and that's why in my family, my sister and her husband didn't teach the kids that, and I think that's good that they didn't do that, because what my family was doing, and maybe they didn't realize it, is they wanted it to be a tradition for us. They wanted, they didn't want us to feel left out when all the other kids were doing that and were getting ready for Santa Claus or whatever it is. But it was, again, it's very confusing. And some families would say, well, we want kids to have, a sense of imagination and fantasy. That's all good. And
there's other ways to do that.
There are other ways to do that. You could let them watch the classic Christmas cartoons, but as long as you tell them, hey, these characters aren't real. You can watch cartoons, but not actually partake in that stuff. I never understood why some parents do that.
Did you ever talk to your mom about this and ask her why she lied to you?
I think my sister and I did, and I think she said, I think either I was talking to my mom or we both were, but my mom was like, oh, we just did it for tradition. And I said, and I was saying, oh yeah, I was really confused by that. But they did it because we were little kids, and when you're a little kid, you don't know any better. You really don't. Your brain isn't developed.
We're all confused as people, is kind of the realization I'm coming to as an adult. Like, none of us knows the full story. None of us really knows what to believe, and we have a sense of what may be right or wrong, but it's really just based on what we've experienced in the past or things that we've read about. So in some ways, I'm kind of surprised that we as a human race have made it this far. I had an experience on Clubhouse last night.
Uh-huh.
I told you about this earlier,
Yeah.
but I'm going to repeat myself because it hasn't been said here yet.
Yeah.
I was in a room. It was really cool. And then somebody starts talking about underground cities that are for the elites, that maybe are military built. I could kind of go with that.
Possibly.
Until he springs this on the room.
Yeah.
He starts talking about how there's an entire sun in our atmosphere and oceans and skyscrapers that the elite know about that, just hasn't come to the surface
That's
yet.
so far out there.
So you could dismiss that as somebody either wanting to get a reaction out of people or just being crazy on Clubhouse. But
what?
It reminded me, babes, of a time I was hanging out with somebody I knew in real life.
Mm-hmm.
He had kind of a weird relationship with his missus.
Yeah.
But, who doesn't? And we were chilling. It was a group of us, not just me and him. And out of nowhere, he says, "Can you believe that there's an entire sun underneath our atmosphere?"
That is just insane to think that. Like, how would that work?
Where's the proof?
Yeah, where is the proof? Like, how would you prove it? Would you be willing to go underneath? Would you be willing to go underground and check it out? Because where is it?
And I get that the government has lied to us on many different occasions. So you might say, well, the government is just lying because they've lied about so many other things. At the same time, that just saying the government lies isn't evidence that this theory is true.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's where... Sorry, to take it full circle, that's where it comes back to us hearing lies as kids, whether it's about Columbus or Kris Kringle. If we hear these lies, it becomes hard for some adults to disseminate information.
Well, some people believe, and I don't believe this for a minute, but some people believe that the government has been lying to us about aliens, and I don't even think the government knows anything about that.
I don't know, honestly. But the one thing I would say that maybe is more on your side is I think if aliens came here, it would be very hard for the government to hide it.
Yeah, it would be. Also, I know there's been some weird thing about that one place, Area 51.
Yeah.
No one's allowed to go there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we don't even know what that is.
Well, we know it's a base.
Yeah.
And I told you my story about Area 51.
What is that?
When I was a kid, I think I've said it here, but it's been a while. My mom was a nurse's aide, and she worked for a woman who was in a coma at the time. But her husband was still alive. He was still of sound mind, and they had a son who was an adult. Okay. I don't know if it was a husband or the son, but one of them told my mom that when this lady was younger and in good health, she was a secretary at Area 51.
Yeah.
And one day, she overhears some military people talking about a surgery they did on an alien.
That's really weird.
Yeah, no, but here are some caveats to that.
Okay.
It's possible that she said that to her son because it's a tall tale, and she thought it would be cool for a little kid to hear, and it's something for him to speculate about. It's also possible, because we didn't know this lady in her prime, maybe she was a little bit dingy, and... the generals knew that that there was a story out there about aliens, and they thought it might be kind of fun to prank her.
Wow.
Or it could be possible that these generals heard it secondhand, and then they told her. I don't know if an alien crashed at Area 51 or near that area in New Mexico. Now, I believe most conspiracy theorists think that this was an alien ship that somehow went off course and crashed. So it wasn't part of a big battalion. It is possible. And it is weird when you look at it because I believe the Area 51 stuff happened in the late 40s. So to look at our level of technology then and then view where we are now, there's a huge difference. And some people have said that we not only dissected the alien, but we looked at the technology and slowly started releasing things to the public.
Yeah, wow.
Now, another theory that a friend told me several years ago that has always stuck with me is we assume that aliens would come here in spaceships and, either land at the Super Bowl or go to Iowa and mess with some rednecks.
Yeah.
But that's because that's the way we perceive travel and communications. It's also a possibility that an alien might just project their thoughts into one of our minds. So, for example, when you're dreaming, maybe you see some technology that looks really strange, or you have a conversation with some being who you've never seen before.
Yep.
And it's that alien knows that he can project themselves into your mind.
Huh.
I don't know what to believe.
I don't know. There's not enough proof for me to... I just don't think that there is any. I really don't.
Yeah, and I don't know that we've been visited.
Yeah.
And my suspicion, if I had to gun to my head say, have we been visited by aliens or not? I actually tend to go in the not direction. Now, having said that, there are things that I can't explain, and the universe seems like a very big place. So do I believe that there's intelligent life out there? Yes. I just don't see why they would want to come and hang out with us.
Well, and also, too, I'm thinking about the environment in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good environment for any human to live, if you think about it. It's too cold. It's either too cold or too hot. There's no oxygen. You have to really make sure that your bones and your muscles are working because they atrophy as the longer you're up there, right? It's just, and I'm thinking, well, how can any living being live there?
But we're assuming that they would evolve like us. And we've discovered a lot of planets out there that are in the Goldilocks zone, meaning that we believe that they could have an atmosphere.
The Goldilocks zone?
I'm explaining it to you.
Okay.
They could have an atmosphere based on the distance they are from their version of the sun, where they could contain life that is similar to ours. So I absolutely believe that there's life out there. And I can't prove it, so I'm not going to say 100% sure, but I'll say 99.9% sure that there's intelligent life somewhere out in space. But I don't know if we've been visited.
The Goldilocks zone.
Yeah. It's the Goldilocks zone is what we're in. It's where you're at a distance enough from your closest star to where you're not going to overheat and die, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're also close enough to where you're not going to be so cold to where life can't evolve. Yeah. That's Rick's basic understanding of it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe aliens are projecting themselves into our brains.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. I love you, babes.
I love you, love.
There we go there, Jaylo. You went to a birthday party last year and had a delicious cake. Unfortunately, you don't know what cake that was, and you asked the person whose birthday it was.
I know.
Because it's her favorite cake.
It was her favorite cake from Fred Meyer, local store here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the texture of it was really good. It almost reminded me of kind of like a brownie, the texture does. It's really good. It was really good. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask her. Because
she's very dingy, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If it were me, and I love, as you know, I love chocolate anything. But chocolate cake, if it were me and I love that chocolate cake, I would want to know exactly what the kind of cake it was because I want to get it again.
Yes.
I want to buy it again. But the fact that I'm thinking, well, I wonder if somebody just bought it for her because they knew that she liked it, but didn't, she didn't bother to ask what kind of cake it was.
Oh.
It was really good.
Yeah, we know some special people.
Yes,
give me a kiss.
Really special.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why would you not know? I'm going to try to ask her again.
Oh?
If I can.
Yeah, I'll try hard, okay?
Also, I'd like to mention that we have been looking for some buffets because we're trying to put something together.
Uh-huh.
And you were telling me that you couldn't find any Sizzlers here, which is really interesting because Sizzlers are still around, but there are none in Portland, apparently.
There used to be one on Shady 2nd, but it's...
82nd, Bubs.
closed. We've always called it Shady Second Babes.
Well, I never.
That's
did.
not a new thing.
Okay.
I know we talked about this recently, so I'll just briefly mention it.
Mm.
It's always interesting to me how people try to say that 82nd in Portland is now a nice neighborhood. And then you go there and there's all this craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And this, by the way, was happening before Defund the Police. It seems
Before
like
I probably moved here.
Yeah, it seems like every couple of years there'll be a group of people who will try to convince you, no, 82nd's really nice now. They have great schools, an awesome community, and you go there and half of the people are like addicted to meth and throwing shit.
What about the Laurelhurst neighborhood? I heard that was a nice place, a nice neighborhood too, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
It's gone downhill a little bit.
The park is a nice park, though.
Well,
maybe.
I heard that it's now a safe haven for the homeless.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Took our park away. It was a nice park, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would imagine Mount Tabor Park is like that, too, because it's a huge park.
Mount Tabor Park is still relatively nice.
Still
I was
relatively
there last
nice,
year.
okay.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend about this, babes, who lives in that area.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hate to say this, Rick, because, he's a good liberal like me.
Yeah.
He's like, I think one of the reason Mount Tabor Park is still nice is because it's really hard for homeless to live here because it's so hilly of an area.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
No, I was moving on my blanket.
Yeah. Wait.
What?
No, I don't know.
No.
I love you, babes.
You're making fun of me again, but
I never would.
Mocking boy.
I never would, babes. I love ya.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll live.
Bubs.
What?
Stop it now.
I was in a clubhouse room during your shower.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And it was just a bunch of people yelling at each other.
For what?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Did you just fart?
Bubs, would you stop it? Okay, just edit that one out. I didn't mean to happen. Bubs, come on with your...
Oh. Okay.
Bubs, you stop it.
All right.
Do you want to eat cake and ice cream with me this next weekend, Bubs?
Yeah.
Well, you might not be able to if you're not good boy.
Well, babes, first of all, I'm the never not good boy.
Mm.
So we don't have anything to worry about. And second of all, you are loved by the good boy. So anyways, I was in this clubhouse room and they started talking about conspiracies related to sound and how that's being used to ruin people's lives or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Okay, so I was on Clubhouse a few nights ago, and I was in this room. I remember the name of it, but I'm not going to say. A lady comes up. She hasn't been in Clubhouse in a while, and she's asking people, why are you still here? Somebody said, oh, it's really great now. All the reptilian people have moved away from Clubhouse, and there's no longer all these weird conspiracies. But it seems like there's still a lot of weird conspiracies.
What about the sound thing? Were they yelling at people because of that?
They started talking about Nipsey Hussle and his album, and they just got into it, and somebody said, people are always sad when these rappers die, but I think that's their life path.
I never even heard of him. I heard of Nipsey Russell.
No, Nipsey Hussle was pretty big in the rap community.
Oh, wow.
I knew about him probably going back to 2010.
Okay.
And he died in 2019.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Anyways, then they start getting on this thing about how if you hear music now, it's not really music. It's the way that computers interpret it. And it's not even really sound.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay,
that's weird.
I can't comprehend this. This is a step beyond Rick.
That sounds really weird.
Yeah.
Where did people come up with this stuff, honestly?
I don't know.
It's like, okay, if you're going to say that, give us some evidence that what you're saying is actually...
Now,
yeah.
Having just complained, there is some truth to the fact that sound is very compressed, so you miss out on things. And a lot of that is a computer's interpretation. But that doesn't mean that it's just the computer sound and that it's not actually sound at all, And sometimes people misspeak on these platforms too, meaning that it sounds one way in their head, but when they actually say it, it doesn't necessarily come out the way they meant it.
Interesting.
How do you feel about that?
I guess
You're not.
if they're not paying attention, yes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, is that what I just heard?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's common with a lot of people too.
Oh, good.
It's like, oh, did I just hear that? Maybe I should listen to it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel awake, babes?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm awake.
I'm glad to hear that.
Did I sound tired?
No.
Okay, I'm awake.
You did for a second, actually.
No, I'm okay.
Okay, good.
Just because my voice lowers doesn't mean I'm tired.
Nice. Yeah. We found out in the last episode that you listen to religious programming when it's a Sunday because you don't go to church right now.
I listen to it all the time.
Oh.
Not just Sunday.
Oh.
And what?
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. What?
Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of your favorite ministers to listen to on a Sunday?
Some of them are kind of in the background. Some of them are not always my favorite. Like Chuck Swindoll is not my favorite one. I mean, some of his subjects are interesting, but not my favorite one. And he's been around since oh my goodness, I think he's been around since the 80s. He's in his 80s now. I mean, and if you don't count the Christian talk shows, or not Christian talk shows, but Christian radio shows, let's see. Greg Laurie is interesting. He does a show called A New Beginning, and he's been around since the 90s. Yeah, and then there's another one. Alistair Begg is a good one. He's originally from Scotland, but he pastors a church in Cleveland, Ohio. And then there's what's his name? David Jeremiah, who's really, really good. I like him sometimes. I heard about him 11 years ago.
I think you might have said something about this homeboy before.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Homeboy?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Do you think that any of these pastors sound like they have fun when they're not at church?
I would imagine they would. I mean, it may not be the fun that you like, but I would imagine they would. Some of them may be into sports, some of them may be into music. Some of them, I'm sure they travel a lot. Some of them are on cruises, and they are in charge of cruises. Like they give they go on a tour to, for example, Alaska. Chuck Swindoll, I guess, is taking some people to Alaska on a cruise.
And that doesn't have to be a biblical thing. It could just be about he's interested in Alaska.
It's a biblical thing.
Oh,
it's like a Bible study type of a thing. I've never been on any of these cruises, by the way. I've never have. Some of them have gone to going to the Mediterranean. Some of them have gone to Israel. Actually taking trips to Israel. I think David Jeremiah's group did.
I have this fear, babes, that one day I'm going to turn on TBN and see you on there giving testimony.
I don't listen to TBN anymore, bub.
That's good.
I don't. A lot of the people I used to listen to on TV that had shows like that, I don't listen to them. I don't listen to Benny Hinn. I don't listen to Joyce Meyer. I really don't listen to Joel Osteen.
No.
I can't. I can't. I just don't like it.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you found out that David Jeremiah is a fan of Ice Cube. And that doesn't mean that he listens to him every day, but occasionally around the house, he'll find himself quoting songs that Ice Cube made. And he won't listen again all the time, but once in a while, he'll throw on a few Ice Cube songs and zone out to the music. Would that upset you?
I would be surprised because I don't know any pastor that listens to Ice Cube.
Wow. How old is David Jeremiah?
He's an old guy. He's in his 80s.
Okay. Let's say I become... Then let's not say I, because we always do me. Let's say that you turn on the radio and you find some new fire and brimstone preacher who's on the come up. He's around our age. And, he gives a couple sermons that you really like. And in one of the sermons, he says, to quote a person I'm a fan of, Ice Cube. And then he says an Ice Cube line in it. So
I don't know. I would be surprised because I don't think I've heard any pastors that have quoted mainstream rappers.
could you still be a fan of a preacher or a minister or pastor rather if you found out that they were into Ice Cube?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I can't say, just because Ice Cube is so secular.
Mm.
It's one thing if you listen to the Eagles once in a while, or the Eagles, or singers that have been around for a while. But rappers, mainstream rappers, I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't know. There are Christian rappers out there, as you know.
Yeah, Lecrae, yeah, is one. There's other ones.
Shailene, Lecrae. I think there's one called LP.
LP is not Christian.
No, was it LP or PL? I can't remember.
It's definitely not LP. KRS-One put out a gospel album about 20 years ago called Spiritually Minded.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Huh. Did he have a gospel choir in there?
I think it was more focusing on the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
See if I liked it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that I will say this, I don't know much about KRS-One's music, but from the stuff that you played for me, I like that it's very intellectual.
Yes.
It's not like, gangs, cars, women, drugs, alcohol, all the stuff you would normally hear.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has a good beat. It's really interesting, actually.
I'll play you more of his stuff because I do think he has a lot of songs that you would like. It's not just one or two.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't necessarily mean that you had to stop going to church if you found out that the pastor really liked rap music.
I mean, I never met one, so I couldn't. I don't know. A lot of pastors are. I mean, yes, they have their own tastes in music for sure.
Yeah.
Some of them listen to like very old gospel stuff. But I've never met a preacher, not even a black preacher, that would say that they like mainstream rap music.
See, that makes me want to become a believer in Jesus and start preaching the gospel.
Why is that?
Just so you could say that a preacher who's really into rap music, and he's like one of yours, like he's a hardcore.
Yeah, but some of it is just so bad. You would agree, right? There's some of it that's just like.
But you can have guilty pleasures. Yeah,
I understand that, but I don't know. It's some of it's just like I don't know. I've never been a pastor who actually admitted that they do like rap music. Maybe they might like some of it, like the early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But gangster rap, no.
Oh,
never met anybody like that.
That might be a good lane for me. I'll be the gangster rap preacher.
Bubs, come on. You really don't want to compromise that.
Why not?
Because I wouldn't go to your church if you were compromising with the culture.
Well, what if it's all fire and brimstone besides that? Or fire and brim, as we call it.
Bubs.
What?
You're mocking boy.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you. I'm questioning boy, babes. I know. I'm questioning boy. You'd go then, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh. That's a question I can't answer at the moment.
I doubt that's going to happen. I don't see myself becoming a Christian.
You don't know that, Bubs. Like I said, you have no idea.
Anything's possible.
You say, what's the term? Never say never.
That's right. Anything's possible, but not everything is likely. Ouch.
Oh my goodness.
But if I became a Christian, like the type you like, I wouldn't necessarily have to give up rap music.
Not all.
What do you mean not all?
Not all of it, yeah. I mean, there's just some things that you kind of, like I said, you have to use discretion. If there's something you're listening to that's getting you farther away from God, you probably shouldn't be.
But I still could. Like, I could still be a Howard Stern fan.
I don't know, Bubs. Howard Stern is a very smutty person.
Oh.
It's like, he's... I don't know, but that's... Some people that used to like it, and they become Christians, I think you would have to use discretion on this.
So maybe just listen a little less often.
I personally wouldn't listen to it.
Oh. And then there was a silence. Okay. I become a Christian.
Bubs.
What?
We gotta talk about other stuff.
We will, but one last question. I become a Christian, and I say to you, I believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I also like to laugh, and I also like to be entertained by music.
Of course.
But I'll give you an option, babes.
What?
I will eat. Now this is Christian Rick, so this isn't me. This is a scenario, but I'm Christian Rick, and I come to you and I say, I can't live without Howard Stern and rap music, so I'll give you the option. You choose which one I'm going to give up, but the other one I'm for sure keeping.
I think you have to have a conversation with God. I can't be the one to choose for you.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
Oh. And you've said before that if I become a Christian, I have to become a Republican, or at least that's what I've gotten out of statements you made.
Let's just say that if you did read the Bible, and you really read it every single day, you really have to think about what political views would coincide with the Bible, and you could end up being an independent. There are conservative independents. You could end up being an independent.
I mean, I'm an independent now. I'm just a left-leaning one.
Yeah, but there is nothing that and I'm saying this with all sincerity. I do not see anything in the Bible that coincides with leftist-leaning views. I really don't.
I don't read the Bible. I've heard some lefties say that there's a lot of lefty-leaning things in there. Now, having said that, I would more side with you based on how I've seen American churches behave here in this country, in America. It seems like a very conservative, conformist thing.
I know that there are leftist ideas that have gone into churches, but when reading the entire Bible, and I've read the entire Bible, I don't see any leftist leaning views in there at all. I don't.
Interesting.
It's so contrary.
And I don't know enough to say whether you're right or wrong, but on the surface, it seems like you're correct.
It's very contrary to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, please.
Oh, enough Bible talk now, Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, one last Bible talk question.
Okay.
When you listen to somebody, and we're picking on him because I remember his name. When you listen to David Jeremiah, does he ever make funny comments?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
He does. He does put some humor in his sermons, yes.
Nice. And it's stuff that I would find funny?
I think so.
Nice.
I mean, I honestly think that a pastor should also put some funny things in their sermons, like if they're reading something like studies have shown that blah 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 blah, and then they end up laughing at whatever it was, or he tells a joke in the middle of the service. I think it's just like, as long as you don't stick to the jokes all the time, all the time, it does kind of break the ice, so it doesn't feel like you're sitting there for an hour and a half and you're bored. But I think it's important.
Nice. And then we will drop this.
Okay.
When I think of fire and brimstone, as you know, I think of some dude coming up there and talking about how he hates all Democrats and hates gay people, and everybody who's not at church today is going to hell. But again, that's not really a nuanced view of things. I imagine that there are some jokes even within that community.
Of course.
Nice.
I mean, there are pastors, and I've heard people say, like, I remember listening to a message by Chuck Swindoll, and he's kind of in the background. He's not my favorite person to listen to, but he said, I don't understand why people don't want to laugh. I mean, there are some Christians that are walking around and they're not so joyful. Why don't they have joy?
Mm-hmm.
He said it, other pastors have said it, and he's like, and when people get old, and he's kind of doing a sermon on getting older, and he's like, I think people need to laugh at that.
Yeah.
Because it takes away the feeling of, oh, I'm old, I'm not useful, but there can be some funny things happening when you get older, and you can actually use humor to kind of deal with it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And but I think Christians should be the most joyful people on earth because of what they believe, but some Christians are not. And it's sad to see. Some Christians are either self-righteous or not so joyful because they're self-righteous.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that kind of a person.
Yeah. At some point I will show you Father Ted.
Father Ted?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've heard of it from
You
me.
told me about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time I hear about like a Christian-based, maybe not a Christian-based show, but like a...
He's Catholic, I believe.
I'm okay. I don't know. Like every time I hear about a religious based satire or whatever, I'm kind of worried about that. I have a feeling there's going to be some blasphemous stuff in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
One last Christian question.
Okay.
We know that Kirk Cameron is in that world and makes Christian movies.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that he's a big star in that community. But I guess a question I would have for you is there anybody in the Christian film world who's like the Tom Hanks of that world, who we don't know, us non-Christians don't really know their work, but in the Christian film community, they are considered like a huge, huge star?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because you don't watch a lot of those movies.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I call them. I'm thinking about like directors, right?
Okay.
Like there's a. Have you ever heard of Have you ever heard of the Erwin brothers?
No.
They did a movie called I Can Only Imagine, which was based on the book by Bart Millard from the group Mercy Me.
Yeah.
They also did a movie called I Still Believe. They did a movie that just recently came out called Jesus Revolution. And by the way, Kelsey Grammer's in it.
Kelsey Grammer is a little bit. But I excuse it because he was on 3 of the best shows ever made, and because he had a horrible life.
Don't just excuse it just because it's Kelsey Grammer.
No, but he also had a really bad life too.
I understand, but that doesn't mean that he's nuts.
Okay.
I mean, there may have been things that he's done that were crazy when he told me about the one time he dressed up in a woman's outfit, which is kind of strange.
Well, that wasn't crazy. What I'm talking about is the crazy stuff is his history with driving, the prostitutes, him taking a 2-year-old to the Playboy Mansion.
What?
Yeah. You research that.
Okay. I'm guessing it's his daughter.
It was his daughter. She was 2 at the time when he took her to the Playboy Mansion. If I'm remembering the story right, this was around 2012, 2013.
Wow.
But you also got to take into account, obviously, he was on Cheers, bro. But besides for that, and besides for being on The Simpsons and his own great sitcom, he also had a very rough childhood.
Yeah.
His sister was murdered. He didn't know who his father was until I believe he was like in his late teens.
Wow.
And then I believe his dad was murdered too.
Whoa.
And there's other crazy stuff like, I hope I'm remembering this story right. He got a woman pregnant.
Did he?
Or it might have been his ex-wife, not Camille, but the one he had before then.
Okay. He was married like 3 times.
Yeah, and the wife tried to kill herself and ended up having a miscarriage.
Oh.
There's lots of craziness. So, do I think Kelsey Grammer is a little bit nuts, especially his views on religion and politics? Yes. But with him, I give it a little bit more leeway just because he's had such a bizarre life. But you were saying Kelsey Grammer's in some Christian movie.
Yeah. The Erwin brothers are known for making making movies like that because I guess they have a company called Kingdom Story. I don't know if I call them the Tom Hanks of the Christian world. It's kind of weird because Tom Hanks is kind of a weird, kind of a complicated person. I heard that before he became an actor, he was a Christian at one time.
He was raised, I believe, as a Nazarene, which I don't know anything about.
I don't know about the Church of the Nazarene, but I've met people that were a part of the church, of that church, that organization. I should say.
So the Erwin brothers, then they're kind of like the Coen brothers of the Christian world. It sounds.
I wouldn't call them that either. You can't. It's hard to compare the secular movie world to the Christian world because they're so different.
Interesting.
You know, I don't think I could call him the Coen brothers of the Christian world because that's just strange to me. I don't know if I can do that.
Okay. Yes. Well, I still love you, babes.
Yes. Why do you keep saying that all the time?
Because I do.
But then, why do you say it like at the weirdest times? It's like, oh, okay, well, I still love you, babes.
I still love you, babes, and I still think Kelsey Grammer is very talented, and he
is a good singer too.
He's a fellow Star Trek fan. He's not a good singer. He's passable. I hate the theme song to Frasier. That's the worst part about the show. The tossed salad and scrambled eggs. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a fun. I mean, I don't think it's not my favorite theme song, but it's a fun theme song. I wouldn't eat tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
The only reason he got to do the theme song is because he's the star of that show.
Well, I thought he was a good singer when he sang for a Sideshow Bob.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say he's a good singer. He's a bad singer. Maybe I should rephrase it and say that the material I've heard him do, I have not been a fan of. And so that may skew things a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will say this about him. In interviews, he seems like somebody who's likable, despite the fact that I would disagree with him on things. Mm-hmm. Like, I bet you if I met Kelsey Grammer, we could get along. You know?
Even if you guys are on two political... you are two political oppositions.
Yeah, like we could talk about Star Trek and just like, discuss that. But we wouldn't even have to talk about show business stuff. I bet we could just talk about life in general.
Food.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love you and I pray for Kelsey Grammer's soul. I actually don't do that.
Goodness.
But you know what I mean. If I did pray, I would pray for you and I'd pray for Kelsey Grammer's soul. But I don't pray.
Well, you should.
I'll tell you something, babes.
What?
This is going to sound very naive of me.
Okay. It probably will, but go on.
Well, I don't pray, as we've just established, but occasionally what I'll do is if a friend is having issues, I'll ask other people to pray for that friend.
Okay.
Yes. I just wanted to acknowledge that. So I have my own nuttiness as well, as you know. Yeah, but we don't have to talk about my nutty boy. No, I'm normal boy with some nutty qualities.
No, I'm a nutty boy.
Nutty.
What kind of nuts? Macadamia nuts, peanuts, almonds?
No, they're more like these nuts.
Ah!
Alana hates it when I do that.
It's kind of annoying.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you guys have a copy of the Chronic growing up?
No.
Okay.
No, we did not.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but we weren't really Dr. Dre fans. I mean, I don't believe we were really Dr. Dre fans. We knew who he was, of course.
Yeah.
But we weren't like, oh, we got to get the new Dre album. Not really.
Y'all didn't buy Doggy Style when it dropped?
No.
Oh. That's a good album. There's too many skits on it, though. And what they've done now with the digital version, at least when you would buy it, a physical copy of it, the skits would be separate tracks.
Oh, really?
And now with the streaming version, they've just incorporated the skits at the beginning of the songs, which is way more annoying.
Wow.
Because now you have to fast forward through that stuff just to get to the song.
Okay.
And that's a problem I have with Wu-Tang, is they would have all these super long skits. And it's honestly very distracting to listen to artists if you have to go through 10 minutes of,
10 minutes of that.
Yeah. And 10 minutes is an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I watched a video yesterday / early this morning about the Detox album and the history of it. Mm-hmm. And this thing is never coming out. Mm-hmm. I think most people can agree to that. But people are still talking about it like one day Dre's going to release it. Mm. Why do you think we are so obsessed with Detox?
I don't know. I didn't even know about it until you told me. Mm. So I can't really, I don't have a comment. Is that fair?
That's fair. I would tell you this. The person who put together the video said that the earliest mention he could find of Detox was from early 2002 in an interview that Dre did with MTV, if I'm remembering the video right. Mm. Now, things get muddled in memory, but the earliest mention I can remember of Detox, I believe, was in early 2001 when Dr. Dre was on Rap City. Again, it's been so many years that perhaps I'm remembering that incorrectly, but I could have sworn that's the earliest mention of Detox. And it's so crazy that 22 years later, people are still waiting for this. It's the pet sounds, or it's the smile rather of rap music. Because didn't Brian Wilson say that he was going to release an album named Smile, and he waited about 30 years to do it?
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If Detox ever does get released, and I'm wrong about that, it's going to be a huge disappointment, I think.
Wow.
Because there's just been too much hype around it. Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's what I think about that there,
Jaylo.
Jaylo. I'm really glad you're not tired, babes.
I'm not.
Oh, good.
I slept pretty well.
Yeah, real well.
Yeah, real well. Yeah, I was out. I think I went to bed like...
Yep.
Wow, let me think. I think it was between 10 and 11, and I was gone.
Wow.
And
Nice.
I woke up like about 6:30, almost 7.
And then I got up and we talked for a while.
Uh-huh.
About one of your friends.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real friend.
Oh my goodness.
Alana really wants me to make the real guy into a full-on character.
No, I never said that.
That's the implication I got from you.
No, I never said that. I was just asking if it was going to be one of your characters.
Oh.
What are you going to call him? If he was.
Maybe the real guy? I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to figure that out at some point in the future.
It's not going to happen. Just like Detox.
Oh my goodness.
I had to say that. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
He's not going to become a real character then, or we're not going to discuss it?
He may not become a real character if you're going to wait to figure that out.
In 20 years, I'll say, I've revisited this.
When we're old and gray.
Exactly.
We're not old and gray yet.
No.
No.
Very good there, little Jaylo.
Very good. Let us talk about Din Din, because it was really good.
Well, do we want to talk about that?
What?
Or the country music documentary?
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that first.
Tell me.
So I'm
Part
gonna
5.
keep this really quick because it was a long documentary. They were talking about Johnny Cash, how he had a hard time with drugs and alcohol, and that when he divorced his wife Vivian, because they were having a really hard time, and he was officially with June Carter, and she said, "Look, I'm not going to marry you unless you finally get clean and sober, because I can't deal with this." And she and her family were just constantly watching over him and making sure that he wasn't doing anything, and it's been like, I think it was like years and years and years until he finally decided that he wanted to get sober. But he struggled with it a lot, though.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where he would fall off the wagon and then come back on again. But they finally did get married, and they had, I know they had a son, but I don't remember if they had any other kids.
I think that was just the one kid they had.
The son, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he had 4 daughters and a son. And she, and I think she had kids, daughters too.
Yep.
So, when they were famous, they used to sing with the Statler brothers, who were a gospel group. And they talked about that. They talked about Dolly Parton and how she started singing at 10. She started writing songs at 5, and she got famous. She started getting famous around 10.
Locally famous. She was on local TV back in the day, and she started making $20 a week. She said that she bought the first TV that her family ever had.
Yep, because they couldn't watch her shows.
Yep.
That was kind of interesting. And there were 12 kids in the family, Bubs. 12 kids.
She was number 4.
She was number 4. And they had a lot of daughters.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And some of them, I'm thinking, I think a lot of them are still around, except for her. I think her parents died a long time ago. Actually, you know what? When she had the Dolly Parton show in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch that on Saturday nights. I saw a clip of her parents on her show. and how they were reminiscing about what it was like when they were growing up.
I don't even remember the Dolly Parton show.
Yeah, it was on ABC.
Was it good or did it kind of suck?
I liked it, but I was a little kid.
What was it? Was it a variety show? A talk?
It was like a
program?
variety show with singing and dancing, and there were performances and things like that.
Nice. Well, her parents have probably died since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they went and visited Hawaii on one of her shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got to wonder what that dynamic was like when she became super famous. Was she one of those people who felt like she always had to impress her parents, or could she just chill out around them?
I don't know. It sounded like she was really close to her parents, to me.
I find her relationship with the husband fascinating.
Really?
Only because he worked a regular job, and from what I've read, is a very private person.
Mm-hmm. Carl something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're still married today.
They've been together for, I think, over 50 years.
Oh, yeah, a long time. They never had children. I think it's because she's been too busy performing. But she has a lot of nieces and nephews, I think.
Nice.
Because of her sisters. I don't know if she has any brothers. There's a lot of kids.
It might be a Jaylo situation where all they can produce is girls.
Now there are some boys in my family now.
Oh.
Now I heard that she had a cookbook of recipes that her family did.
Nice.
Yeah. And one time I had a dream that she was selling some of her food in some kind, like she was a vendor and she had some of her food. I thought it was kind of an interesting dream.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yes.
Okay.
The documentary also talked a little bit about Merle Haggard.
Yeah, it was interesting stuff. Like, I didn't know that he was in prison.
I knew that. I mean, obviously, I've seen this documentary before. So maybe I'm the wrong one to ask. Is there anything else you learned about him?
They called him the poet of country music, I think it was. And that he was looked down upon because he was an Okie.
Yeah.
His family were Okies. And I didn't know that Okies were looked down upon by other people in the South. That was kind of interesting. Also, I did not know that Loretta Lynn made a controversial song about the birth control pill.
That's crazy.
And it was called The Pill, which I didn't think that she did that, but I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
She had something like 8 kids.
Yeah. From the age of 15.
Mm-hmm.
She got married at 15 and had a lot of kids. Oh, I think it was I think it might have been 6.
No, I know why you think that, because in the documentary they said that, but later on, somebody met Loretta Lynn, and it was after that time.
She was pregnant.
And she was pregnant with twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
And her younger sister, I believe, is Crystal Gale.
Who you told me was a country music star.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
She's, country and pop.
Oh.
I think more pop than anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I played you some stuff from her.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I did, yes.
Nice. So, it's going to get mentioned in, I believe, the next episode or the one after that. Merle Haggard records some song called Enoki from Spinoki, I guess. I want to say that's the name of it. It might not be.
Enoki from something.
Yeah, and he starts talking about, we don't do this, we don't do that. And in the song he says, and we don't smoke pot. And a lot of people were mad at him because apparently it was well known that Merle Haggard was a big pot smoker.
Oh, so they thought he was a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
We listened to some of his music. Apparently he was good friends with Willie Nelson.
Yeah, because there's a lot of songs that we were listening to that Willie Nelson was on. And they did one, it was called an ode to missing old Johnny Cash.
We're going to get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of feelings about Willie Nelson, most of them very positive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've known like 3 people who have known Willie Nelson.
Uh-huh.
Like not just met him here and there, but have actually spent significant time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they pretty much all say that he's a really cool guy in real life.
Huh. Cool.
I didn't ask them about Willie Nelson's politics,
He's
but
probably a big lib.
I get the sense, yes, that he's a big lib.
He's very pro marijuana legalization.
And I'm assuming other things too, which I really, really like. And there's an other added thing to this is he's also in the country music world, which traditionally is a little bit more conservative.
I believe you're correct.
So for him to be a big lib in that world is even more impressive to me.
He could hang out with Dixie Chicks.
Exactly.
They were big libs. I wasn't really a big fan of theirs. I mean, there was a couple songs I liked of theirs, but...
Well, and also your girl Natalie Maines suffered from being canceled by the right, as you well know, for speaking out against George W. Bush. You know that story, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of... I don't pay attention to those kinds of beefs or whatever. It's just... It was one thing that I kind of shrugged off like, yeah, whatever.
But she was canceled. She faced real cancel culture from the right. But we don't have to go into her story. We're talking about Willie. And I always thought it was cool that he's a big lib who smokes a ton of weed and still makes country music. So my perception of Merle Haggard was he's a redneck dude, is very law-abiding Trump guy, or at least he would have been if Trump was in office at the time, and hated all things lib. But maybe the truth is a little bit more nuanced than that, if he's good friends with Willie Nelson, or was.
Yeah. But you said that, yeah. I didn't know that I didn't know that Merle Haggard did smoke marijuana, because we were listening to that song. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Because he says that we don't do that. And it's another episode of the documentary coming up where they said that everybody knew that Merle Haggard was a big pot smoker.
Well, that's interesting because we heard it last night. We heard that song just last night.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, okay, is he talking about Okies in general?
I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, and it's been a while since I've done the documentary, he did the song as a little bit of a joke.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, let's get to Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I don't think Johnny Cash was a full-on, hardcore Bernie Sanders lib. I don't. But my feeling is he was probably an independent with some conservative views and some liberal views. Right?
It's possible.
You would say that that's likely.
Yeah, because he seemed like a very complicated guy.
Exactly.
He could sing about gospel stuff, but have like a very profane laced conversations with prisoners at Folsom Prison during the concert. And he's a complicated person.
And they talked about that album he did to raise awareness about Native American issues.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, actually. In both of our opinions, especially Alana's.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that you thought that was awesome that he did that.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Did I?
I might have made that up.
Oh my goodness. I never said anything. I was kind of neutral on the whole thing, but...
But I thought it was cool.
Okay.
Anyways, so we hear the song that Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard did about Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, I know he got clean. I know he was a Christian. But clean can mean many different things. And I was wondering, did Johnny Cash smoke pot after he accepted Jesus into his heart? Because I know Christians who do that. I couldn't find good information online about this, but it is kind of fun to think about.
He probably didn't.
I don't know.
He probably did harder stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm talking about after he got clean. Maybe he would occasionally smoke once in a while.
Well, and I said, who cares? Because I don't care.
Well, and I said that would make him even a little bit cooler in my book. Even though I do think there's something odd about Christians who smoke weed, but it is a thing. It
is odd. It is very odd to me.
It is a thing, though.
I know. I don't get it.
Well, let me ask you something.
What?
You know a lot of people in the Christian community, not necessarily here in the Portland area.
Yeah.
Do you have any Christian friends who smoke weed?
Not that I know of, and I never asked.
Okay.
That's just not I don't ask those kinds of questions. If they want to tell me, I would be like, okay, that's weird. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, I don't know anyone outright that actually does it.
I have a friend of mine who's in the construction field, and he knows somebody who he says all she likes to do is talk about the Bible and smoke weed.
That's odd.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but is her brain all together?
Well, I mean, if she's studying the Bible, then what? We would assume, babes, that it is, right? What?
Okay, I thought you were going to say that she was dumb because
Listen, no, we're good Christians here.
Bubs, you're not.
I am. Good enough. Hold on. No, but as good Christians...
Bubs.
Hold on.
Stop mocking.
I'm not mocking, babes. As good Christians, babes, we would have to assume that because she reads the Bible all day, she is of sound mind, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is she talking about the Bible because she doesn't understand it, or is she talking about the Bible?
Okay, according to my friend, she will read verses to him and start talking about life and what these verses mean.
Huh.
And they'll also smoke weed together.
Okay, that's weird to me. I don't understand that.
Mm.
I don't know anybody that I know who actually is a Christian that actually would admit to doing it or doing it outright. I just don't get it. Now, I know people that are Christians who smoke cigarettes, which I don't like, but that, again, does not affect their way of thinking.
Now, I don't know this lady, but I have known other Christians who occasionally will light up weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh.
Sorry.
And there are Trump supporters who smoke weed too, so.
And that's something that I know nothing about and I don't really care about. They as long as they don't give me any, I'm okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Bubs.
What?
Let's talk about other stuff.
Okay, I think you know what I was going to ask.
I think so.
How would you answer that question?
I would say no.
You would not continue going to church if you like the pastor and you found out that he occasionally smoked weed.
I would feel very weird about going there. I think that there are pastors that should not be compromising. And that's just me. I know. Black and white Jaylo. But that's just me. I think I would feel very uncomfortable.
Well, good. Let's talk about dinner.
Yes. Let's. It was really good.
It was.
Super good. I did not know, Bubs. Mm-hmm. I did not know until you told me that my oven has a broiler feature on it.
It does. We made
tandoori chicken. Tandoori style chicken.
The only thing is it wasn't very red because we didn't have Kashmiri chili powder, but I'm getting some of that.
Yeah.
For when we do butter chicken next weekend.
I'm super excited about that.
I am too.
Yeah. There's going to be an extra step because we will have to cook some onion and poblano pepper.
But I still think it's going to be off the chain.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It's going to be really good. And butter.
Yes. Yeah. Our meal last night was really good.
It was amazing. The coconut milk and the rice was really good. I'm going to have to get some of that unless you have more.
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to get more.
Nice. Yeah. I could see making this dish again.
Mm-hmm.
It was that good.
It was good.
Yes.
For sure. And now we're going to do butter chicken, which is my favorite Indian dish, I would say.
I don't know what mine is.
Yeah.
I really love chicken tikka masala.
I heard chicken biryani is good too.
Chicken biryani is really good. I like just plain veggie curry with some rice. I obviously love mango lassi. I know that's not like a meal, but it is part of one. There's a lot of Indian food I really enjoy.
What is in chicken biryani? Because I never tried your dish. I think I did. No, I tried a little bit.
No, I've never made chicken biryani.
Okay, but what's in it?
I've helped. So basically, it's a lot of herbs and spices, but you cook it for a lot longer, like 24 hours, and it's usually with bone-in chicken.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like a long cooking curry, chicken curry.
Wow!
But bone-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes. I've helped, but again, I've never been the main producer of the biryani.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Shout out to all my biryani believers.
Oh my goodness. What else?
Then we watched some documentaries.
Yes, we did.
I believe, what was the first one? The United States of America versus James J. Bulger.
James Whittey Bulger?
James J. Bulger.
James J. Bulger.
I think it's called Whitey, the United States of America versus James Whitey Bulger, or James J. Bulger. But if I have that wrong, I'll correct that in the notes.
Yeah.
I was excited until I saw that it was a CNN thing. Because it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And HBO does really good documentaries, so I'm all excited. And when I saw the CNN logo, I'm like, oh, God.
CNN Films?
What are we getting into?
Yeah. Yeah, and the music wasn't that great either.
No. It was very low budget.
Yeah. So they were focusing on the trial that happened in, was it 2013?
He got caught in 2011, but
Okay.
the trial was in 2013.
And you were saying that he pretended to have Alzheimer's.
Which they don't mention in the documentary, but I've heard other news sources say that one of the reasons he was able to hide so well was because he kept a low profile, and his wife would speak for him and basically tell people that he has early onset Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, which she said.
Yeah.
I have it too, so a lot of speaks for me.
No, I don't think you do.
No, I thought it was a joke.
Anyway, it was interesting. They were talking about who was on the stand and whether or not the prosecution was fair. Because they were also asking people like Kevin Weeks, who was one of his men,
Mm-hmm.
to speak, and that was kind of interesting. And they also talked about an FBI agent that was killed,
and how the FBI basically gave him a license to do whatever he wanted. At least that's what the documentary makes it sound like.
Yeah, and that the FBI was corrupt, and especially when Whittey Bulger and his men were friends with, in some way they had connections to the FBI.
Because Whittey Bulger was an informant for several years before he went on the lam.
Yep. And I thought it was really, what does that mean, the lam?
It means you're basically running from the 5-0 and you're hiding out someplace.
Okay. And it was interesting that he said that somebody was saying, I think it was a reporter, it said, well, what the worst thing Whittey Bulger wants to be called is an informant. Yep. Not a murderer, not a criminal, not anything like that, but an informant. It's the worst thing you could be called if you're in the mob. I'm like, that's interesting.
That is, even though a lot of those guys become informants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no loyalty in the mob. I was listening to an interview last week
with Michael Francis.
Well, I don't remember if it's him or somebody else, but it was on Vlad TV. And somebody was talking about how this guy went to prison in like the late 1960s, came out in the early 2000s, right?
Wow.
And he had health issues. He was an older guy. Mm-hmm. And he would call his friends who he didn't snitch on and ask them to come over and spend some time with him. And the guy who was like the mob dude said, and his friends all blew him off. Like they didn't have the time of day. And the guy's like, and that really made me think, well, if you don't have the time of day for somebody who did 30 plus years for you, mm-hmm. then why do I need to be loyal to somebody like that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I want to read more about Whittey Bulger. But on the surface, what do you think of his life and situation?
I think there's a lot of denial on his part. Like, I had nothing to do with such and such's murder. I had nothing to do with, like, I think he, was it Michael Donahue? That was a woman's husband.
Yeah, he was killed by Whittey.
He was killed by Whittey, and he denies that he killed him and Deborah Davis.
And so many others.
But they couldn't all be wrong. It sounded like there was more evidence pointing to Whittey Bulger than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was convicted of killing 11 out of the 19 people they tried him for.
Yeah.
I wish they would have talked more about Whitey's brother, who's a big deal, or at least he was in Boston politics.
Yeah, but he was not in the mob.
No.
Yeah, he was out of there.
But politicians are very,
oh my goodness,
questionable people.
Yeah, I would have liked to have known about Whittey Bulger's brother and what he thought about this whole situation.
Yep. I don't even know if his brother is still alive, but 60 Minutes did a piece on him back in the early 90s on Whittey Bulger's brother.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he hosts some sort of luncheon for politicians that's very popular there.
What's his name?
I forgot, but if you Google 60 Minutes Whitey Bulger's brother, it should come up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Is there anything more to say about this other than HBO Max should not have a documentary on there that's from CNN?
Yeah,
because it's very misleading.
It's not the best documentary.
I mean, I get that they're owned by the same company, but maybe you have a special CNN Films section, so we know which documentaries to avoid.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Don't write in. Don't watch any CNN films.
No.
Yeah.
I showed you another documentary, which I've seen before, called Best of Enemies.
Is it called The Best of Enemies?
I think it's called Best of Enemies.
Best of Enemies? Yeah.
Yes. About Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley and their debates in 1968 on TV.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you would assume that I'm a Gore Vidal fan. I'm not a fan of either of them. To me, they both come off as snobby elitists who think that they know what's best for everybody.
They're very arrogant.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that when he got into it with Gore Vidal and he was saying, "Don't you ever call me a crypto Nazi," and he was upset about how he reacted, but they were both, they just seemed very arrogant to me.
They both seem like very unlikable people for different reasons. But I guess the one that they share in common is the arrogance.
Yeah.
They both think that they know what's best for people.
And I made a comment that if they were on a platform like Facebook, they would be like ripping into each other.
I would love that though. I would probably follow both of them.
They would be ripping into each other, and there would be like people that would probably there would be people that would side with Gore Vidal and people that would side with William F. Buckley.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were not a part of our generation, and they just seemed like really old elitists.
Yeah. To give a little bit of context, Gore Vidal was related to a lot of prominent people, one of whom being Jackie Onassis. So he grew up with a fair amount of money. He was a lefty writer who was very early on gay rights. Yes, he was a gay man himself, but a lot of people just like wouldn't even talk about it in what they wrote. He did.
Yeah. He
wrote many books, but the one that's most famous,
Myron Breckenridge.
Yes, which was turned into a movie.
Yeah.
Not a very good one from what I've heard. And he basically had a career writing books and being an intellectual.
Yeah.
William F. Buckley also came from a pretty prominent family. Lots of money, all that good stuff. I think he founded the New Republic, which is a very respected magazine in right-wing circles.
Review.
I'm sorry, the National Review.
The National Review.
The National Review, which is a very respected publication in right-wing circles. And he would also tour the country giving speeches. ABC, which was last in the ratings in the late 60s, needs to do something because of the Democratic National Convention and the Republican National Convention in the summer of 68. They decide, wouldn't it be cool to have these two people debate for a couple minutes at the end of the day? And it's about what happened when that took place. They hated each other. There was a bunch of meltdowns. And at one point, what Alana was referring to, Gore Vidal basically implies that William F. Buckley is a modern-day Nazi. And Buckley's response is to call him a queer and threaten to punch him in his face. Buckley is upset that he lost it on TV. Yes, he didn't slap him, but he threatened to punch him.
He did, yeah.
Right? So, a couple months later, or maybe a year later, he writes a thing for Esquire magazine, basically giving his take on the events. And a little while after that, William F. Buckley responds in Esquire magazine. Gore Vidal responds in Esquire magazine and is sued by William F. Buckley.
Mm.
The lawsuit goes on for 3 years. Esquire settles it. William F. Buckley comes out and makes it seem like he won the lawsuit, which upsets Gore Vidal. And it sounds like they continued hating each other for the rest of their lives.
And then what really struck me, and I thought it was really, really mean, is when I think he write a publication and about William F. Buckley saying that hell must be roaring now.
Okay,
and
it's technically William F. Buckley Jr., but I use that stuff interchangeably. But when William F. Buckley Jr. dies, and I want to say 2008, Gore Vidal
2001.
basically. Oh, it was 2001.
Was it 2001? Yeah, I think it was 2001.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was 2008.
Mm-hmm.
When he dies, Gore Vidal basically puts out this letter saying that hell is a little bit more interesting now. He was really bad, and may he rest in hell. Which I think is kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of cute. But I don't necessarily know that I would say something like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I just thought it was almost like, wow, you couldn't let the fight die with him.
Yeah.
I was just like, come on, this is so immature. I thought it was kind of immature, actually. You couldn't let the fight die with him.
Yes, it's immature and it's entertaining. Maybe that's a good way to phrase it.
Oh, goodness.
Considering that this is about two very unlikable people, mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the documentary.
Well, I mean, and you compare that, right? Because I never heard the talks with Jerry Falwell and Larry Flint. Okay, but they found a way to get along with each other despite their differences.
Larry Flint said that Jerry Falwell was a friend of his.
Yeah, so I mean, he never he never wished hell on him or anything. Or Jerry Falwell, it sounded like he never wished hell on Larry Flint. But they found a way to get along. But then Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley could not get along.
No,
it wasn't going to happen.
But I like that because so many times in our society, when you hear people debating, oftentimes you could hear a story 10 years later about maybe William F. Buckley's kid would come out and say something like, oh yeah, Dad and Gore Vidal had this contentious relationship on stage, but off stage they really had a deep respect for each other. And they may not have seen eye to eye on every issue, but there was an admiration that the both of them shared. I like that you don't get that.
Well, I thought it was really interesting when Gore Vidal whispers to William F. Buckley, well, I guess we had them entertained tonight or whatever.
We gave them their money's
worth tonight. I thought it was kind of funny. But it's one thing if they were contentious in the beginning and they found a way to see common ground and they showed it publicly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they really hated each other. They really did hate each other.
Which makes it good.
Yeah, but you're like a killjoy, aren't you?
No.
Okay. I just wanted
Once in a while, it's nice to squash beefs. But sometimes it's good to let those things play out a little bit.
I'm not into beef, though.
Oh.
I don't really like to pay attention to who's beefing on who or whatever. Yeah.
Did you like this documentary as a whole?
It was interesting. Yeah. It was better than the Whittey Bulger one. I thought the Whittey Bulger was kind of disappointing.
It was.
Yeah.
What would you give?
It wasn't the worst documentary, but it was not the best.
The Whittey Bulger one, yeah. What would you give Best of Enemies on a scale from 1 to 10?
I think I'd give it a strong 7.
I would too.
Just because I didn't like any of those people.
Yeah.
Whittey Bulger, I would probably give maybe a weak 7.
Oh wow, I'd give it that
or
one.
Maybe even a 6.
I'd give that one a 6.
Yeah, a 6 maybe. I'll give them a 6.
There were good stuff in it. There was good stuff in the Whittey Bulger documentary. I like when they talk to the relatives of the victims. I liked some of the testimony stuff, although some of it felt a little bit too put on in the way it's presented in the documentary. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't hate it completely. In a thumbs up, thumbs down world, it gets maybe a mild thumbs up or a mild thumbs down. But I don't feel strongly about it either way. But Best of Enemies gets a thumbs up for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you recommend Best of Enemies to your relatives?
I don't know, just because I don't know if they would want to watch political documentaries. And I don't think they would like these two people. So I don't know.
Does watching Best of Enemies make you want to read anything that either Gore Vidal or William F. Buckley Jr. wrote?
I don't know. What kind of books did William F. Buckley write?
I'm assuming, and I haven't read any of his stuff, that it's mainly anthologies of his work from the National Review. But it's possible that, he wrote other books. He did host a show called Crossfire, which they briefly mention a couple times in the documentary.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And Gore Vidal also had the radio show, right?
They show a clip from him on a radio show.
Oh, on a radio show.
I don't know if he was a guest or what the deal was.
I like that there was somebody calling in that felt like he was not being dishonest, that he was not being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting. It's like, well, how is I being dishonest?
I like this stuff about Nightline when William F. Buckley steps down from Crossfire and Ted Koppel brings him on the show.
Yeah. He
plays the infamous clip, and then William F. Buckley just looks stunned by it, so they go to break.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good stuff there, little Jaylo.
And I thought I like that they showed William F. Buckley as an older guy, an older man.
Who is kind of defeated at that point in his life.
Yeah, it sounded like that.
Yes. Even though Ronald Reagan was a fan.
Oh my goodness.
I like what Gore Vidal said when they talked about Reagan. He's like, you have an aging actor reading a conservative script. When he's talking about Reagan at the convention.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Gore Vidal really wanted to destroy William F. Buckley Jr. And I thought it was interesting too that one of the reporters said that William F. Buckley Jr. wanted to win a big war, but he could only win small things. I thought it was interesting.
Nice.
Small wars. Yeah.
Well, good.
Very good. Yeah.
Yes. Well, babes.
Yeah.
Did you have any dreams?
No, I was out.
Oh.
I was gone.
Well, I'm glad you came back there,
Jaylo.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or shall we wrap it up?
Bubs.
What's up?
We're not in the hood, Bubs.
We're not in the hood, babes. Come on. Come on, babes. We're not in the hood.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
I can't believe that in just 5 days I'm going to be another year older.
That's right.
And it's going to be a fun day.
Yep.
Because we're going to see Dust Bowl Revival, a band that you weren't able to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
Yes.
Well, good, babes.
Good.
Anything else you want to say before we kiss?
No.
Okay, give me a kiss. Oh,
no noises.
I never make noises.
Yes, you do.
I thought that was all you pretending.
No, that was Bubs. I can't throw my voice that deep.
I thought you could. Okay.
Bubs, come on. My voice sounds too girly.
Now let's do a nice wet one.
Okay.
All right, babes.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe we should wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.